Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Wattz 3000 Mark II laser gun mod, which is being released by user Deadpool2099. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is an absolutely wonderful new laser gun for you to enjoy, which is based and inspired by the famous Wattz 2000 rifle that we saw previously in the franchise in Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. This is meant to be sort of a continuation of that Wattz weapon line, but adding in a more modular laser platform to give you some more options and, you know, make it even more wonderful and powerful, which is just pretty neat. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we are getting with the Wattz 3000, which in its most standard and basic pistol form will deal just a 35 energy damage using the standard fusion cells with a firing rate of 40, range of 71, accuracy of 75, and a pretty decent weight of 4.2. Not too bad for a laser pistol there in the slightest. And as you can see, this thing is magnificent. It is just a beautiful looking weapon with all sorts of great details to it. I love all the Wattz branding on this thing. You got it stamped on bits back here. You got the 3000 Mark II bit there. All sorts of just little type there that I can barely read with how far we can zoom in. And just all sorts of other wonderful details. Even inside here in the housing, you can see wiring and everything, which is just pretty cool. They really went all out with creating this thing, and you can definitely see the influence of the Wattz 2000 here, especially when you make this thing into a more standard rifle with longer barrels. You can definitely see that Wattz 2000 influence there, and it's just a beautiful, wonderful looking gun. I very much do enjoy it, and you may have noticed it when I first pulled it out at the beginning of the episode there. And we have a little screen, and that screen is in fact a functioning ammo counter, which is pretty darn cool. You do require a hotfix for that though. If you just download the mod on its own, it doesn't work correctly, but there is a hotfix patch. So hopefully the next version of the main gun here will have that rolled in. But for now, just to let you know, there is a hotfix to make that functional. Now, other than that, modifications, as you can see over here, we don't have a huge number of categories, which is unfortunate, but within each category, you do have quite the impressive list of different modifications you can add to this gun, which is pretty wonderful. And especially in the barrel category, that's where you're really going to kind of go crazy with this thing, turning it into a machine gun or sniper barrels, etc. It's pretty nice. A good selection of things, just not the largest number of categories. Granted, what more categories they could have added, I don't know, but still, always nice to have more things. But I'd say this is a very good list for the mod as it stands. Now, as for how you get your hands on these lovely guns wow, the music change really turned epic, didn't it? I love this song. But yes, returning back to kind of the lore for this gun, like I said, it's meant to be a continuation of the Wattz line. It's, you know, the predecessor to the Wattz 2000, and because of that, this thing had a higher cost and is much more complex, and because of that, it's meant to be a much more rare gun in the world, so it's gonna be kind of hard to find, but you will start seeing them in the Commonwealth starting at level 30, where in some vendors and occasionally on Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, you may find one of these guns. So it's going to take you a while, and it'll be kind of hard to get your hands on, but still, eventually, they'll be there. Now, there are also several unique variants in the world for you to find. Granted, I don't know exactly how many, because it didn't state that on the mod page, just that there are some. So, yeah, they are out there. Good to know. But other than that, like I said, level 30 vendors and Brotherhood of Steel. Now let's go over here and take a look at what modifications we do have, starting with the capacitor category, which we have the pretty typical stuff you find in here for laser weapons, like the standard capacitor, photon exciter, beta wave tuner, boosted, and then on to, you know, more powerful versions of those, all the way up to the overcharge capacitor here for the highest per shot damage from the capacitor list. You can up that a bit more with the barrels later on, but mainly in here you're going to be changing up damage type, adding more critical hits, adding in some burning damage, and of course just overall power. Good times. Now then, the barrel category, we've got a short barrel, a tri-beam barrel if you're wanting to go a little bit more laser shotgun, a combat barrel for full automatic fire, focused barrel for a bit more, hard hitting of sniper shots, and then we got an improved short barrel, long tri-barrel, long combat barrel, an overcharge combat barrel, and then a long focused barrel, the one that definitely looks by far the most, almost identical frankly, to the Wattz 2000 barrel, which I very much do enjoy, and will really help up the damage on the weapon even more, which is pretty great. I do very much enjoy that. Now then, in the grips, we've got a standard, comfort, bruising, sharpshooters, full stock, full wooden stock, probably my favorite. You guys know me, I love that mix of metal and wood, and it even is more impressive when it's a mix of technology, metal and wood in my mind. Good times. And then finally, a recharging stock. Very helpful if you go with the automatic barrels because, well, 1 out of every 4 shots will be recycled. So very nice there. And then finally in sights, we've got standard, glow, short scope, short tracking recon scope, reflex, medium, and then long scopes, as well as targeting recon versions of those, and then also night vision versions of those. So you've got actually a pretty good list of things here, a number of recon scopes on this thing, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, very nice to have all of these in there. A lot of recon scopes, though. Whole heck of a lot of recon scopes. And that is it for our modifications we do have. So let me go over here and grab my 2 modified versions. I made a full auto version here and a more sniper-based version here. Again, love that wooden stock. And the highest per shot damage I was able to get this thing to, as usual, without any additional perks on my character, is up to 104, so you should be able to get that even higher with any useful perks in that realm. And for the automatic, I got up to 60 with these. So yeah, not too shabby. 60 for an automatic isn't too bad. I think it might be a little bit low considering you don't find this thing till level 30, but still, not too shabby, and especially on the per shot damage for the, the more sniper-esque barrel here. I think it works pretty nicely. Well, let's take a look at the standard pistol version first. Always do love, actually, I'll put it back away for a moment, that the screen is off when you first pull it out. Then there you go, flip the switch, and you got that ammo counter. And let's see it function. And there we go. We reload our fusion cell, pop that in, and boom, we got that 18 back up on the ammo counter there. I really do enjoy that. I really, really do. It's very fun. Oh, very nice. Always fun to have ammo counters. It's not exactly the most useful thing ever since we literally have one in the corner of the screen, but, it just looks cool. And especially for a laser weapon that's meant to be a, further continuation of the Wattz line, I think it's appropriate. I think it, fits in with that sort of lore-based reasoning that this gun has for existing. So very fun there indeed. Now, let's go check out the recoil compensating overcharged improved automatic Wattz 3000 rifle. Dear God, that's an insanely long name. And see how that one functions. We do got just a a reflex sight on this one, which is very hard to see with the orange color. It really fades out in a lot of different environments, but oh well, fire. There we go. It is a little bit annoying, in my opinion, that we do get that fusion cell added thing up in the corner. I mean, I know why, because of course, it's just how the mechanic in the game works. I actually don't think there's probably anything the mod maker can do about that. But yeah, that part with the recycler is a bit, So, you see something in the corner and you think to yourself, oh no, what's that? And then it's just, oh, fusion cell added. But nonetheless, a very useful thing to have. when you have an automatic weapon here. There we go. And again, with that fun ammo counter there, now with the 26. And now with 0. Good times. Granted, you really can't see it with all the kick from this thing. Really vibrates back a lot, doesn't it? But a very controllable kick, which is always still something very strange to say about any laser weapon in this game. Alright, and then to our Recon Overcharge Wattz 3000 rifle. God, I do love that wooden stock there. And take a shot. And there we go. And with the, with how little recoil this thing does have and how controllable it is, with the 104 damage, it makes for a pretty decent marksman rifle for your character to use. You can really keep that on target very easily, which is always magnificent. So let's go take a look at this thing in use against our usual enemy and grab ourselves a Death Claw. We'll start with this gun. Hello, you. Let's get you tracked. There we go, the recon component. Okay, there we are. I got some shots in. I missed the first one. Well, I missed a lot of them. Come back, please. I need you to die. There we go. I'd like you to cooperate with me, please. I'm a horrible shot. Oh boy, up the stairs we go. And we'll switch over now to the full auto, which I'm thinking will probably melt his face. Which, good times. With the 60 damage, and how easy it is to stay on target with this thing. It's actually pretty easy to kill with it. Granted, I do wish we did have a higher ammo capacity on it. So yeah, having to reload every 26 shots, which granted, I think there was a, one of the capacitors that did add increased ammo, but then it was lower power. So, yeah, if you want the power, you're gonna have to deal with those 26 shots, sadly. But, oh well, what are you gonna do? It's still a fun weapon to have a fully automatic laser rifle here. That still does a pretty decent amount of damage at 60 there. But that is all to talk about with the Wattz 3000 Mark II laser gun. I really do love it being inspired by and seen as a continuation of the Wattz laser weapon line. I think that's pretty fun and nifty, and it certainly looks the part for it. And overall, it's just a very fun laser gun. I always do enjoy when new laser guns do get added into the game, as it tends to be one of the more, overlooked weapons in this franchise, sadly. But yes, if you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description of the video, as per usual. Well, that, my friends, is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and you do come back for whatever mod we do look at next. But until then, thank you for watching, and as always, well, have a good one.